Right, 22 April 2025, and today I'm going to be giving you the update for a most important day, which is the beginning of our shutdown. So that's the Zimbabwe shutdown that is going to take place from today, an indefinite shutdown. And today I've been talking to a lot of people overnight, and this is because everyone wants to know what is happening and what is going to happen next. So currently, the focus has now shifted to what happens after the shutdown. Who is going to take over? Who is going to be the president? What's going to happen to Mnangagwa? What's going to happen to his family? So Mnangagwa has gone into hiding. I explained this since Sunday. Mnangagwa was supposed to be at Mbungo and did not arrive at Mbungo. So the question is, where is Mnangagwa and has he fled the country? So remember, the last time there was a shutdown, which was the 31st of March, Mnangagwa left the country and then returned through Victoria Falls. And I explained to you that Mnangagwa had fled to Dubai at that time. So now things have changed. And I've been talking to my sources. So what they've said to me is that Mnangagwa is currently at Precab farm, and a huge number of soldiers have been deployed. This is shocking. Mnangagwa is terrified of what is happening. And as I told you, Mnangagwa is normally very coward. He doesn't want to be in danger. So Mnangagwa and his family are reportedly at Precab farm, where they're being guarded by over 500 Zimbabwe soldiers and more private security. So there's more private security around Mnangagwa. And the people I talk to say approximately 1,000 people are currently guarding Mnangagwa, who is afraid, totally afraid, and hiding at his farm. Now, the question is, what happens if the shutdown continues for more than a few days? And I've previously explained to you that Zimbabwe can only last for 3 days. A shutdown in Zimbabwe can only last for 3 days before there's a total collapse of the whole economy. So the economy of Zimbabwe is depending on daily collections, so of taxes at the borders and people who pay fees. If the Zimbabwe government is shut down for 3 days, the whole country will collapse. It will not be able to function. They are basically living from hand to mouth. And this is what Mnangagwa is trying to avoid. Now, the war veterans have come out clearly and said they want Chiwenga to take over. And my understanding is that Chiwenga himself has not spoken and has not said anything. So he's been very, very quiet. And you're going to hear the next statements from the war veterans. It won't be from Chiwenga. Chiwenga is not going to come up on a stage and say, I'm now in charge. So everything that's going to happen is going to depend on the war veterans. That is, Geza is going to play a key part in what is coming. And the way it's going to work is that today is the 22nd. We expect this shutdown to last at least until the 6th of May, when Parliament opens, if Mnangagwa resists. So this is going to last at least 2 weeks. So that is 22 today. We got the whole week until Friday. Next week, the 2nd. And then on May the 6th, which is Tuesday, when Parliament opens, that is almost 14 days without any activity in the Zimbabwe government. So let's look at what Geza has said before we continue.
Evening, fellow Zimbabwe. Tomorrow morning at 8:30, I'll make a special announcement.
Is that the one? I was looking for the one where he's saying this is indefinite. So I'm sorry about that. We're going to bring it to you later on. So, Geza has made it clear that this is indefinite. When he says indefinite, it means nothing is going to happen until Mnangagwa is gone. And on the 6th, Mnangagwa has created a bypass. He has bypassed Parliament through a proposed amendment to the Constitution that is now currently going to take place. So it's going to be tabled on the same day. On the 6th, it's going to be tabled. So there are going to be two motions. One where Mnangagwa is trying to amend the Constitution, and one where there's going to be an impeachment. And according to people that I talked to, Mnangagwa has also agreed that if his attempt to amend the Constitution fails, he's going to step down. So he's going to step down, but you are likely going to have Mnangagwa in office between now and the 6th of May. It's going to be a big push, except if we have a military deployment today. Now, the question is, where is the military deployment going to come from? Who are the friendly forces that Geza is talking about? So, according to the people I talked to, there are certain soldiers that are available to launch operations. And these soldiers include people who have recently deserted in the Zimbabwe National Army. There are people who have recently deserted, but they are not a huge number. So they are not a huge number of people. That's why Geza was talking about targeted and focused strategic operations, which are going to take place. And I'm thinking here, and here I'm just assuming that this means that various targets or people are going to be targeted, but it will not be what you expect. It won't be like you go there and shoot up the place. I don't think that is what Geza meant when he said strategic operations. So let's see what happens. I expect a visible action of some sort. It won't be a quiet action. So today, if you're in Harare, you should expect something. Expect something that is different. It will not be, you won't wake up to the same thing that you normally wake up to. And it's better for you to sit at home until the time that Geza has mentioned. Remember, this is short notice. So when people left work last week, they didn't know there was going to be a stay away. So managers have not made arrangements, companies have not made arrangements. And this complicates the whole thing. So you're going to see a lot of confusion today in companies because they left on Friday and said, we're coming next week. And then during the holiday, they were told that there's going to be a shutdown. So unlike the last time, we did a lot of work beforehand, almost 30 days. I sat here, Nyokaima Bunu, sat here for 30 days, talking to you guys. This time is different. It's going to be very chaotic and it's going to be very confusing. So you're going to see a lot of confusion because many people have left work undone, work half done, clients are not being communicated with, long-term plans have not been made, schools have probably planned for some activities or exams or things like that. So it's going to be very different this time around. And there will be need for some sort of enforcement to make sure that people comply. But I expect that by tomorrow, everything will be very clear because this is the last push. It's the last push because the impeachment is coming and the impeachment is on the 6th. There is no way that Mnangagwa is going to leave without an impeachment. You can't just push him out without an impeachment. So the impeachment is very important. It's going to need to happen. There needs to be a process in parliament. And people have been bribed. People have been paid. I've told you that the unions were at Precab farm. ZCTU was mentioned. The teachers union was mentioned. The nurses union was mentioned yesterday as having been to Precab farm and received payment. So there is a lot that has happened behind the scenes, but I believe that the issues at hand are too big and eventually everyone is just going to comply And my understanding is that last night, some people that went to work found that their families had been attacked when they left. So I've got an audio that I just received here that says some people that went to work last night, they came back to find out that their families had been attacked when they are at work. So clearly, we have a situation right now. Politically, we have a situation. There is a vacuum. There is a vacuum because Mnangagwa is quiet. You don't expect a president to just sit there and say nothing, issue no statement, and just disappear during a big event like this and send a police minister to say something, or a police spokesperson. That's a vacuum. This man has got no clue what he's doing. Mnangagwa doesn't know what he's doing, doesn't know what is important. He's talking from Twitter now. So if you go to the Herald newspaper, they are quoting what he said on Twitter. He's not present. Mnangagwa is not present. He's hiding. And he's leaving people like Jenfan to talk, to issue threat. Whereas the actual issue that is in place right now needs a national dialogue. So it needs a dialogue because it won't end. You are going to have one shutdown, then the next shutdown, and eventually you're going to have a national crisis, an armed conflict. This is where we're going. We're going to an armed conflict in Zimbabwe. Very soon, you're going to see an armed conflict and people are going to be killed. This is simple because people are getting more and more frustrated with Mnangagwa not responding and not being present. So, although Mnangagwa is guarded by 500 soldiers, the actual threat is not from outside. It's from inside. That is the problem, the threat that Mnangagwa is facing. His own poor policies, his poor planning, his lack of a plan, his attempts to extend his term by another 5 years. Those are the threats that Mnangagwa is facing. And then we've got a political vacuum in that the issues have not been resolved. The issues have not been resolved. The demand from Mnangagwa to step down from within his own party has not been addressed. And Mnangagwa continues to go as usual. Right now, he's putting Tagwire, someone that has been mentioned at the top of a list of people that are very corrupt. Tagwire, a very corrupt person, and also Wikino Chivayo, working with Mnangagwa, people like Scott Sapanya, a whole bunch of people who are corrupt. Nothing has happened to them, and no investigations have taken place in Zimbabwe. So let's see what happens today. And as I said, everything, Shaka Broker, everything. Shaka Broker, Mnangagwa has destroyed everything, including his own image. So Mnangagwa is no longer an invincible person. Look what has happened at the ZITF. That thing is a disaster. It has failed to pick up. People have wasted millions of dollars coming to Zimbabwe, and the ZITF is not going to open. And if it does open, they are going to open it to an empty ground. So today is the business days, 21 to 23. And then on the 24th, you expect to see the opening. But it's all going to be a disaster. Who do you think is stupid enough to do business in Zimbabwe where you cannot get your money out? So the issues are there. They are present for everyone to see. And Mnangagwa is just not dealing with them. So that is it for today regarding the protest, or what we can call a shutdown. There is not going to be any activity, any business activity. No one wants to put themselves in danger. No one wants to put their employees in danger. No one wants to put their kids in danger. So we have a stalemate. Everything stops, but there is no clarity on what happens at the end of these processes. Who is going to be the president? Who is going to take over? What is going to happen to Mnangagwa? What is going to happen to the corruption that is taking place? You have seen that Collins Mnangagwa has been named overnight for stealing 2 tons of gold a month, and also for running the scam that is being ran at by Collins and Go and See Victor. So these documents are coming out now, the true ownership of all the things that Wikino is doing. is coming out. Collins Mnangagwa running that, and also the theft that is taking place. You can see the dossiers which are coming out on almost a daily basis. The drugs that they're doing. These guys are running a drug cartel in Harare, the Mnangagwa family. You've seen the documents that came out, the dossier, that says how the Mnangagwa family is actually the one supplying drugs in Harare to young kids. And they're doing this through inside of Harare and through the courier or the bikes. You've seen this information coming out. And all these are criminal activities that need to be dealt with. But then who's going to deal with it? And what is going to be the outcome? So Geza has a lot of work to do, but we need to convince a bigger section of the security services to take charge here. Because currently the security services has been captured. The army has been captured through Valerio Spanda, the police through Mutamba, and intelligence through Mangwanya. All these guys are new. They're taking instructions from Valerio Spanda. That's my understanding of what is happening there. So basically, the new guys that have been appointed at this level are failing to discharge their duties. They don't know what to do. They are new in their jobs, and they actually don't have authority. They don't know what to do. And that is where the Zimbabwe government has failed. And Mnangagwa himself, because he's so ill and sick, is unable to take charge. And Oksina Mnangagwa is doing only what is necessary to steal as much money as possible. She's part of the theft. And therefore, this is a family mafia godfather type of situation that you have. They've got no national agenda, and all they're doing is to steal. So every day, the only job that they do is to steal money and put it in their pocket. So that is where we have a problem. The outcome of everything, after we finish all these stairways, shutdowns, we now need someone to stand up who's going to be in charge. And that is where people want Chiwenga to come out and now declare, and then Chamisa also to come out and declare. These two guys have been quiet, and we need them to speak up and say what is going to happen. Someone needs to take charge. And my understanding is that the junior soldiers have been saying Chiwenga and Chamisa, they now need to come out and speak because the issues that they're dealing with are too big. They cannot just keep quiet with no leader. We need someone who's going to come out and say, after the protests, after the shutdowns, I am going to take charge and I'm going to address these issues. And they're going to be addressed in an orderly manner, not through just a fight. We need a structured approach or a roadmap of what happens after everything is done. Because Mnangagwa is certainly not going to be a president that can run anything or have an agenda of any sort. So confusion is very high right now because of that, the fact that no one has declared that after we finish this, I'm going to be the one in charge. And eventually they're going to fire Chiwenga. They're going to do it. That is already, a letter has already been signed for Chiwenga to be fired. And remember what I said yesterday about Mohadi? Something is happening there. I'm just waiting for further confirmation on what has happened to Kembo Mohadi. Right. I think, let me recap that because I've said a lot. I've spent 20 minutes just talking. So we've said today there's going to be a shutdown. It's indefinite. We all expect people not to go to work, rather short notice. But the biggest issue now is what happens after the shutdown. Who's going to be in charge? Who is going to be the leader after Mnangagwa is gone? Because remember, this won't stop until Mnangagwa is gone. And this is going to be enforced. So who then is going to come out and take charge? Who's going to clean up the current situation? And that would need someone to declare and say that they are going to be in charge. Or if there's an NTA, we now need a process. And that needs communication. So someone needs to come out. We don't just want to have a shutdown where everything's quiet. And I think this needs a daily communication to say, today we did this, this is where we are. and tomorrow this is where we're going. This is going to be the new structure in our government. That was lacking in the last shutdown. And the Nyoka Mabunu sort of closed that gap by giving updates. And now that Nyoka Mabunu is been abducted, we need someone who is going to be formally coming out to communicate the progress and also where we are going. That is very, very important because we need understanding of who is the new leader that is coming. That is necessary. And also we need to probably see more visibility from the war veterans talking and giving guidance, especially in the ZANU-PF, what is going to happen in ZANU-PF, what is going to happen in the government. So that is where we need to go. And at the moment, a bit of a vacuum over there. And I hope that Nyoka Mabunu will be back. The groups with 250,000 people have been hacked, and very filthy pictures have been posted on there. And the phones of Nyoka Mabunu, his car has been taken. I do not know what has happened to his family, but something very bad has happened, and someone has taken over. One of the generals has been exposed very badly in pictures and communications that are there on that group. It means that the guys from Mnangagwa has captured the phones of Nyoka Mabunu, and they've done some digging. They probably have found almost everyone who was communicating with Nyoka Mabunu. And this means there is no going back. Everyone is known, their role is known. So people have to just finish what they've started. You can't stop now. If you stop, someone is going to die. So 500 soldiers, as I said, currently protecting Mnangagwa, and another group, even bigger, making up to almost 1,000 people at Precab farm right now, protecting Mnangagwa, who is afraid that he could be attacked. Mnangagwa has not left the farm ever since Independence Day in Gokwe, and he did not go to Mbungo, where he was represented by Daniel Garwe on Sunday. So crazy situation taking place. Mnangagwa's family is huge. He's got over 100 people, and they're all sitting there at Precab farm, trying not to get killed. And I do not know who is the threat, who they're afraid of, but they know something. That is why they've put so many people around Mnangagwa. Right, let me quickly go through some stories, some important stories. And I want to go through to South Africa. There are 3 important stories in South Africa right now. And then we'll come back. I'll be present here almost every hour giving an update. So in South Africa, I'll start with the Deputy President of South Africa. So more details are emerging on the assassination attempt on the Deputy President of South Africa. This was revealed this weekend on Sunday, and it appears that this assassination attempt happened on the 30th of March. And according to reports, 12 empty cartridges were found at the scene of the assassination attempt. And the glass was badly damaged. The bulletproof glass was badly damaged, but he managed to survive that assassination attempt. The ANC has said they're not going to be carrying out a parallel investigations according to press reports here in South Africa. And it is not clear who is behind the assassination attempt. So the police in South Africa have been investigating. And he says during an Easter address that he feels safe and he doesn't think that his life is in danger. Okay, right. So let's see what happens to Paul Mashatile, Deputy President of the ANC, as we move towards the next elections. And then the Ukrainian President, Zelensky, is going to be arriving in South Africa this week. The presidency is going to release the itinerary of President Zelensky as he arrives in South Africa this week. So there's a bit of a problem with that because people think South Africa normally doesn't take sides. And what does the visit of Zelensky mean for South Africa? So I don't know what is going to happen, but I'll let you know. And if he comes to Cape Town, I'm going to go over there and see if I'm allowed to be there. Then thirdly, South Africa is going to be appointing a new ambassador to the United States. And President Ramaphosa is said to have decided to appoint an Afrikaner as the South African ambassador to the USA after the fallout with America or the USA. And the names that have been mentioned is Rolf Meyer, a former Minister of Defense, and Martinus van Schalk, who is a former Minister of Tourism and also, I think, High Commission to Australia. So that is what is going to happen according to the latest press reports in South Africa. But this is being opposed by people in the ANC, and they don't think that is a good idea. But these guys are aligned to the ANC. Although the Afrikaners, they are aligned to the ANC. They've previously worked with the ANC. They've been given positions, cabinet positions within the ANC government. So I don't think this is a solution because the big issue still stands. The relationship with Iran and Hamas, that has not been addressed. I don't think just putting new people there is going to address the issue. And obviously, the big story internationally is JD Vance has arrived in India. I've been watching this for the past 2 hours, so you can go and check it out. It's actually currently live on most stations. JD Vance, the Vice President of the USA, has arrived in India with his wife, who is of Indian origin. So very interesting. And what made me laugh was when the Indian soldiers saluted JD Vance. You should see what he did. I won't even tell you. Go and check it out, what he did. The man is very interesting. When he does his stuff, there's no way that JD Vance is different from Trump. These guys are like, they're made for each other. You can see how he behaved. When the Indian soldiers saluted him, I laughed. That is the craziest thing that I've ever seen in my whole life. Yeah, and then let's go to some entertainment news. Mambo Dhuterere has left home. So according to H Metro newspaper, Mambo Dhuterere has fled from his home and wife, who is 8 months pregnant, and he just left without saying a word. So go check it out. His wife is complaining that she is being left by herself. I didn't know that she had a child when she met him. So they have 4 children together, and one of the kids is adopted from her previous marriage. So go check out the story in H Metro newspaper. Silent Killer has spoken about the episode when he didn't travel to the UK. You can go and look at DJ Sparks. It's one of the most watched videos right now. Yesterday, Silent Killer has explained that he did not go to the UK because they did not pay him some of his money. So they were able to buy tickets, the promoters in the UK, but he says that they were not able to pay him the money that he was supposed to be paid before he left for the UK. So he was just sitting, but he was not in the bathroom. And he told the people in the UK that he was not going to come until they pay that money. So Silent Killer Ngwere says a lot. Go and check him out. I wish that someone could find money and pay for all the problems that Silent Killer is facing. For example, someone has taken over his Facebook page for $500 only. This man is very talented. And unfortunately, for Zimbabwe, as we Badari, Zimbabwe, yaka broker. So everything in Zimbabwe is broke. And that is why you see with our artists, they're being paid $300, $2,000. Guys, $2,000 is nothing. Like in other countries, people get paid millions and millions. And in Zimbabwe, very little money is exchanging hands for talented people. People spend days and days working for nothing, like $200. Imagine salaries. Currently, many people in government earn $200, $300. Doctors, that's not money. And that is where I agree with Geza. $1,500 minimum salary and a lot of benefits, a structured economy which functions, and also a lifestyle where everyone has a home. A majority of people in Zimbabwe right now don't have homes. So let me tell you what has happened to the soldiers. So over the past month, my understanding is that a company came to the military in Zimbabwe and they've promised, or they've offered each soldier a car, and that is without paying any deposit. So after a while, after only like 50 soldiers benefited, the company withdrew after issues, and also soldiers are demanding that if the MPs can be given stands, why can't they, as soldiers, also get residential stand, residential stands? This man, Valerio, has never done anything for the soldiers. Like ever since he became the commander here, the Zimbabwe military has never really advanced. There's no equipment, and soldiers' lives are so bad. So this is the man that is responsible right now for the army. And the Zimbabwe National Army does not generate anything. Like, I don't even think they've got $1 billion in their pocket, these guys. If there's a war, I don't think these guys will last even one day. So you don't have any guy in the Zimbabwe National Army on top. Right now, there's a vacuum at the top here, the Zimbabwe National Army. You need someone that is going to dig deeper and think harder. And this is not what is happening. You have people that are using the guerrilla tactics. So the Zimbabwe National Army is still like a guerrilla army, where if you say who is making money there, no one is making money. That is how it is throughout the country. So in Jesse, Jaka broker, everything is broke. Under Mnangagwa, Mnangagwa has got no plan. And we need a new system. So what is a new system? A new system is a country that functions, a country that is structured, a country where you don't have to leave the country to do well. At the moment, you have to leave the country to do something. Right now, what is $200? What are you going to do with it? Over a year, that is $2,400. Can't even buy a car. You can't build a house. And therefore, that's why our country is such a mess. The economy is not growing. And corruption is behind everything. So it's terrible. And I hope that we all understand. There is a lot of messages that has gone out. People want to do well. And especially civil servants, nurses, teachers, police, military, and my friends at counterintelligence. Counterintelligence, you're going to be earning a minimum 2,500 plus. Tokisira safe house, more avenues. Counterintelligence. You guys in counterintelligence, we're going to make you a pride of the nation. Not counterintelligence, what did Gambakwe post and phone me with heavy breathing? That is nonsense or lies. So that would tell you, I'm sorry. So what we're going to do with okay, I'm saying we, because remember, I'm going to be like, I've got the biggest platform right now. Most of the things that people say and do, the influence that we have here on a daily basis is big. So if we are going to have a new country, a new structured country, it has to be architecture. There has to be an architecture. The problem we have with the current Zimbabwe government is there's no architecture. There are no systems. There is no operational plan right now in the Zimbabwe government. They've lost the password for the treasury. So Mtuli Ngube's department, the guy with the password died. And when he died, he had the password. So that is why you see everything's being done manually. They don't even know how much money they owe and how much money they owed. So this is the kind of things that you need to fix. You need to create a totally new country from scratch and remove Mnangagwa. Mnangagwa has got no idea what he's doing. He's very, very confused. And the people around him, they've decided to adopt the Godfather approach, which is to bootlick Mnangagwa as much as possible, and then everything will be fine. And that is why you see that there is no response right now to the protest that is currently taking place. And also, people that are around Mnangagwa, they are afraid to assume the position that is not open. So there is an open position. Mnangagwa needs to be challenged immediately. He needs to be challenged, and he needs to be challenged openly. And at the moment, that is not happening. There's no challenge. Even if Mnangagwa was to resign today, you're going to see it's going to be very difficult to replace him because the people around Mnangagwa, they don't want to say, draw the line and say, Geza has done all the work. Let's now finish him off. So Mnangagwa, he needs that last chop. Kuti abude. And at the moment, no one wants to deliver that last chop so that Mnangagwa can go. And I put this in the hands of Anamdara Chiwenga and the guys around him. They need to give him that final push so that he can step out, because nothing's going to function. Imagine if we go 3 years like this. This would be crazy. It's unbelievable. We can't go to 2028 in this way. But then how is that going to look? How are we going to end Mnangagwa? And the chance has been given now. In 10 days, Mnangagwa will be out if there's an impeachment. And it only takes a word from someone like Chiwenga to say, guys, we stop this now. And you see, everyone will just fall into line. And no one can resist Chiwenga right now. Chiwenga is so popular among the army and the security services. If Chiwenga says a word, it's going to happen. Mnangagwa will jump or be pushed. I know Jamba Darawui. And my understanding is that he's already drafted his resignation letter. So these are things that are well known in the security structures. Mnangagwa has got no idea what to do. He also needs to be rescued. Right, let's quickly look at the Herald newspaper and see what is over there. I want to look at Herald Zimbabwe and see Kuti Chapo has he arrived in Zimbabwe. So let's quickly look at Herald newspaper. If Chapo comes to Zimbabwe, he's just going to spend his time for nothing. No one is coming to the trade fair. The trade fair of Zimbabwe is a failure. It's a disaster. No one is going to go there. Who wants to be killed while attending a trade fair? Right. Violence instigators put on notice. That is crazy. Who instigated violence? How is a shutdown a violence? That's crazy. Who's talking? Let's see who's talking here. Zimbabwe Republic Police. That's not violence. When someone says stay away, it's not a violence. And then let's see what else is here. That is GVV call center. I saw this story where a man has allowed his wife to go and find a man because he is not able to function. You cannot tell your wife to go to other men because you can't function. Murume. And then let's see what else is over here. I'm not seeing anything about the ZITF. Let's see the league. So the league is currently like this. MWOS 17 points. Simba Bora is now back to number 2. Dynamos is back at the bottom. And Highlanders number 7. This is terrible. I can't believe where Dynamos is right now. These guys are facing relegation right now. That's terrible. Dynamos lovers. This is bad. And then Kayindu happy to collect point at Baobab. Right. This is good. Let's see if there's anything on ZITF. I want to specifically see if Chapo has arrived in Zimbabwe. I don't see anything about Chapo here. Chapo is the president of Mozambique. He's supposed to come and open the ZITF. So I don't see if he has arrived. So let's see if he is arriving today or on Thursday. So I'll let you guys know when he's going to arrive, Chapo, but there's currently no one there at the ZITF. So let me explain to you what the ZITF was. The ZITF was the place where companies went to trade. And what has happened is that no one goes there anymore. The place is now being used for offices. So it's a disaster. And ZITF is currently planning to move to Harare because no one wants to drive all the way to Bulawayo just to stand around for no reason. So there's a Harare Agricultural Show which does almost the same because there are no international investors. Belarus and China, those guys are not investors. And India, come on, man. Who's going to get investors from such countries. There is no way that those guys are investors. They're just coming there as chancers. And then let's look at Chronicle newspaper. And I'm serious. There's no day when you're going to have an investor from those countries. China never invests in your country. They come there to get raw materials. So there's no day when you're going to have an investor from China in Zimbabwe. What have they ever invested in? If you go to Zambia, guys, what a disaster. How many casinos have they put in Zambia? I think when I arrived there, I saw no less than 5 casinos in less than a kilometer. That is Zambia. They only come to country, China, they only come to country and put up something like a commodity, but never a system. So there's no system that they ever put in place. Okay, so they're talking about the ZITF here. And as I said, there's nothing happening over here. It's a total mess, the ZITF. And then Raman Gumbo's widow seeks help with cancer bills. I don't know who's going to help her. Since Wikno has ran away, this is what happens when a country is depending on one man for donations. And then Ngezi Boso in Gole's draw. Right, who's this young pretty lady? That is, I want to see what's her name. Miss Universe Zimbabwe 2025. And this is Sakile Dube. Okay, so you can go check it out over there. And then there is Busi Samuel and Morris Mbala over here. I've said, these guys are good guys, but they are working with Mnangagwa. Mnangagwa is the worst person. He doesn't do anything in business. And that's why the ZITF is a disaster and a failed disaster. Today, I'm going to see no one there. It's going to be a waste of money, so much money wasted for nothing, because Mnangagwa is not able to run anything. Mnangagwa Arkuraya Vanhu, Nenzara. Right, let's quickly look at the comments and then we'll bring this to an end. I'll be back here. Right. Let's look at Wikino Chivayo. Wikino Chivayo. Tinashe Gwandira, do you need financial help, mentorship, or a loan? Just hit me up. This is not Wikino at all. Let me block this punk. There's no way Wikino is going to be giving you loans. That man is broke. Aka broker. Wikino is working for Collins Mnangagwa, according to the dossier, which has been released today. So we've blocked him. I'm going to delete every single comment from the fake Wikino Chivayo. He is not Wikino, Wikizig. And then Junior Chamisa akatengwa uyo. No, Chamisa anakutengwa. Chamisa is God is in it. 500 soldiers guarding one man. Is that not abuse of power? Guys, it's bad. Mnangagwa is in a very tight position right now. You will see what will happen by the end of this week. You will see what is going to happen by the end of this week. Mnangagwa has been exposed. He is not able to get money. And as the country remains closed, it's going to get worse and worse. Where is Comrade Noxivero? What is the latest statement? Also, I don't know about Comrade Knox. Let's see. What happened to second VP Mohadi? I'll let you guys know. Something has happened to Mohadi, but I'll let you know. And Chiwenga will be sworn in as president on Independence Day. Who said that? And then what if people continue business as usual? It won't happen. If you go to town right now and you go and try to do business, you can try it, but something's going to happen to you and you get arrested. So let me tell you what the problem is. These guys, they don't choose. They do what is called dragnet arrest. So let's say you're walking to town and they see you. They will arrest you and put you in jail. Then the judge is going to postpone and postpone and postpone. Imagine someone went to jail on the 31st of March. They were arrested just walking and they're in jail. Don't go into town. Stay at home. Don't say I didn't tell you. Mnangagwa is willing to shoot to kill. And then when they kill you, they won't bury you. They will just say you died by yourself. Mnangagwa, come on. There's no one worse than Mnangagwa. Someone who shoots himself in the foot. No one trusts Mnangagwa at all. Like, can you believe that the man has got 104 political prisoners? Why do you have 104 political prisoners in a country like Zimbabwe? If you say it's peaceful, why do you have political prisoners? What are those people in the jail? What are they serving? Is it an example? Are they dangerous? So right now, people are going to stay at home because Mnangagwa has arrested everyone and kept them in jail. That is the problem. Mnangagwa is the problem, and he must go. I support the call by Mdara Geza for Mnangagwa to go, and I've got no doubt about it. And then Aliko Dangote, the Nigerian billionaire, is going to be speaking on Thursday at the IMF. There's currently an IMF conference going on called the Spring Meetings. It started yesterday, so I will let you guys know when he's spoken. That is very, very important. So I think I've covered everything. Let us recap. Currently, Mnangagwa has gone into hiding at his farm since Sunday, and over 500 Zimbabwe soldiers are guarding Mnangagwa, guarding the farm, and they're also private security. And my understanding is that over 1,000 people are currently guarding Mnangagwa, afraid of what can happen today. So many, many people are over there, including probably people like Tagwiri, and planes and helicopters are in and out of that place. There is no understanding of the impact of what is going to happen, because it is expected that the majority of the people won't go into town. And if people do go into town, there is going to be serious violence that I expect to happen. Because remember, we've reached a point where Mnangagwa wants to extend his term. And this is a recipe for a soldier against a soldier. So soldier against soldier is going to happen, especially given the lack of a proper leader at the top. Mnangagwa is currently not doing well health-wise, and there is a vacuum. Mnangagwa is absent. Right now, we would have expected Mnangagwa to issue a statement. He has issued nothing. Instead, he has gone into hiding. He's just watching videos. Right now, Mnangagwa is watching my video. Can you believe a president, instead of doing something, Mnangagwa is watching videos with like 10, 20 people. People in the security structures, they don't know what to do. They've not been given any instructions. And that is the problem. Mdara Geza is now in charge when he gives direction in the country. When he says the country stops, it stops. But we need more. We need a direction of what happens, what comes next. And that can only happen out of a national dialogue. The national dialogue is necessary. People now need to sit down, and Mnangagwa now needs to step down. So ZANU-PF, at the top, we now need people to take charge and accept that Mnangagwa is no longer capable and take charge. So the ball is now in Ndara Chiwenga's court to say something. And we need him to make a statement. People like Chamisa, they need to now make a statement to say, where are we standing in this war situation? We can't just leave the war veterans to it. And this is what has been happening. We see the war veterans making a statement, and then after that, people are waiting. What are we waiting for? Someone needs to speak right now. And looking at all the prominent people, they tend to run away when the time comes. And let's not allow that to happen during this particular shutdown. Let's see activity, let's see action, and let's actually see someone who's going to say what will happen next. Because the current leadership structure is not working. The current leaders we have are not present. They are not able to do anything. Do you expect anything from Mnangagwa? Do you think Mnangagwa will one day come up with a plan out of this situation? So if you cannot see a plan out of Mnangagwa, then we need something new. and that means Chiwenga needs to step up. It has been said countless times that Chiwenga needs to take over. So let him take over, but he needs to take over while saying something. You can't just take over quietly sitting at your house. So we now need to see action. Today is the last day. Right. What else do we have? Let's look at my favorite people. Let's look at President Hakainde Hichilema. So President Hakainde Hichilema has passed his condolences to the Catholics on the death of the Pope. So I want to show you the picture of President Hakainde Hichilema with the Pope. You know very well that President Hakainde Hichilema is the most loved president in Southern Africa after together with the President Duma Boko. These guys are popular. Like in their countries, they're like celebrities. It's amazing. So that is President Hakainde Hichilema with Pope Francis over here. Have you ever seen a picture of Mnangagwa with Pope Francis? That would be crazy. I've never seen such a thing in my whole life. Like Mnangagwa doesn't even a picture with the Apostle Chiwenga. Imagine if that was to happen, that would be crazy. So then let's see President Duma Boko doing very well in Botswana. He's transforming the economy of Botswana from a normal economy to a proper economy. So remember, Botswana's problem was that they were relying on one resource. So President Duma Boko is speaking, so you can go and check it out. I won't cover this here because I don't want to go through the actual audio. And you can see Kuti Duma Boko doing very, very well. Probably the most watched person in Botswana right now. There's never been a loved president like President Duma Boko. And then let's look at Minnie. Minnie, I love Minnie. She's amazing. So she's got some of the most interesting dressing that I've ever seen. So there is Minnie, and she is together with the general. Let's see what a lucky baby being held by Chiwenga. So let's see the actual post. What did she say in the post? So I don't know why this is taking so long. VP Chiwenga interacts with the young congregants yesterday after church. One congregant is too confident for the age. The way she looked directly at VP's eyes. That is this one here. That is amazing. Amini. Trikudamana equals Jino. Trikudamana. Manje. Atidi Vanu Manoti Tucha. Vasungaiti mana. And then meet your 2025 Miss Universe Zimbabwe. Tucha. Miss Universe Zimbabwe. She's shown us Miss Universe Zimbabwe. And that is, who are these girls? Brenda Kadewa, Charmaine Emmanuel, Onismo Nkomo. I'll ask the guys to profile this for you. And yeah, that little bit about the baby, I don't know, man. I have to think about it. It would be nice to see Minnie with the baby. And that would be amazing. Let's now go to what else do I want to see here? Funny enough, I did not see the Sowetan newspaper today. I did not see Business Day. I was quite busy today. I was watching JD Vance tonight, so I didn't manage to look through most of the newspapers. But there is a lot in the South African press. You can go and check it out. And as I said, we have a lot of smart people in Zimbabwe, like extremely smart people. The problem with Zimbabweans is selfishness. So even those people that are able and capable, they don't want to work with other people to create a great nation. So we need to change our values. And the biggest failure in our country is at the top. So we've got a big failure at the top. People are leaving Mnangagwa in office in his current state. And they think that is going to end this way. If Geza had not come, we were going to be stuck with this man. Right now, Mnangagwa is finished, he's gone. He's got 500 soldiers guarding him, but he can never guard himself from the truth. The truth is that Mnangagwa is no longer suitable to be president of Zimbabwe. So we now need to change, but that change needs to be organized. We need to have an organized change. It needs to be communicated. We want people who come out and communicate clearly what's going on. So Geza, I'm going to ask you to please make sure that people keep informed every day as we go through this indefinite strike or shutdown. Nyoka Mabunu is not there. We can't have silence. So we need a proper press conference every day and an update. Someone has to be speaking because Nyoka Mabunu was doing that and is not there now. And people can't just sit at home expecting nothing. So we want a proper structured protest, stay away, shut down, make sure that at the end we know what is going on. We don't want the same confusion we have now with Mnangagwa. We want to know that there is a leader that is coming, that is solid, that is able to come in there and stamp his authority. If Chiwenga is going to come in, we want to know that he's coming, and we want to know that Mnangagwa is totally gone, his system is gone, the people around him who are corrupt are held to account, and they're arrested. So when we say we want to arrest the 34, we want to see them arrested and in jail. So we don't want to see Tagwire walking around. We don't want to see Wikino walking around. We don't want to see Garwe walking around. We want to see them in jail. Like Matuke must be in jail right now. By morning, we must hear message kuti Barkumanya, Tatenda Mavetera, Collins, Sean, Auxilia. Auxilia must lock her up in jail. She must take back our money, which she stole doing Pada. Pada. Imagine Auxilia Joe, Agachema. Auxilia, she won't last even one day. Nigga soft voice, Achitaura, Snabasa, Achitukira to Vana, Neva Mbuya, Kumamisha. What first lady does that? Like the whole day just wandering up and down and taking 15 minutes on ZBC News. That's crazy. I've never seen such a first lady in my whole life. Very crazy. I don't think Auxilia. Right, I would like to thank all of you for watching. And isusu atina basa atikwate sina basa ndina basa nazo zvakabroka zvinhu zvese zvakabroka. Mnangagwa akabroka, Collins akabroka, Auxilia akabroka, uyu Wikino Chivayo. Right now he's ran away. You can't see him at all. Akabroka. Everything is trababulous in Zimbabwe. Let's make this happen. Guys, spread the message and let's build a better country. A majority of the guys want to come home and let's make it happen. It will happen only if Mnangagwa is gone. But we need a structure. So it needs to be structured. Right now, let's support Geza, let's support the war veterans, and let's get it done. We need a killer punch. Mnangagwa, andok pure, Chema Tsenga Nzungu. Chema Tsenga Nzungu. That's what he needs. Mnangagwa. Notice Okutambanae. Please stop lying. The vice president is not dead. Who is the vice president? Who's dead? Wait, uchaona zvichaitika. Iwewe, mira chete. At least, Vance Gambakwe overrates himself. That's why he resorts to lying. Oppo said Zimbabweans listen to liars, specifically Gambakwe. He gives the impressions he controls Geza. Geza, Mdara Geza. I control with the moon. Mdara Geza, akasimba. Have you seen strong men? There are men that are so strong. Zokuti akadarika up. Mese munorega zamurukita. In guys, I've been running my media house since 2010. I'm running my media house. This one, Gambakwe. But before that, I was the publisher of the Nast Observer. In 1998, most of the kids who are here, who are watching, so I've got a track record, and I've got a track record of excellence. Mnangagwa anga asati atomboita minister. One day, Mnangagwa. Mnangagwa was driving in Harare. That was in 2001. Mnangagwa used to drive himself. One day I saw him, actually driver, a Benz, yake. And then Mnangagwa asked up a corner. People recognize him. And they started saying, hey. The way that man sped off, Mnangagwa anochka van. Apana chini chochikwana Mnangagwa sevan. Because Mnangagwa is safe behind the guards. The worst thing you can do to Mnangagwa is to take away the guards. Momiza mu first street. What Mnangagwa walk from Reserve Bank. Ushke used to get. Mnangagwa would die. Pasna guard. I know for Mnangagwa. Kusukuchka ikoko. Vanhu vandozia vakapenga. Pane mfeza ndozia. Aenda kuma baby. Aibvisa. Like my bodyguards, I did. One of the top government officials. Aenda ku avenues kuma baby. Aibvisa. Aiti usiku. Aibvisa suit chichichi. Opfeka tracksuit. Opinda mota yake. Drive enda kuma baby kuma avenues. Ndo vanoziva varume vakashinga. Mnangagwa anoita zvokufonerwa baby rake kuti asangane naro. Apa pane mabodyguard. Oita baby sei pane mabodyguard. Hapana chobuda. Mnangagwa uya tikupe mubve mudhara wapera wabroka. So guys, this is it for today. I'm going to be here on a daily basis. You can see that it's day now. So it's gym time. I need to work out and then we'll be back here. I don't sleep. Toro Mve, and then Mve will give us energy. Our special 2-for-1 has ended. I'd like to thank everyone who's ordered. If I've not delivered to you after you paid, please WhatsApp us and let us deliver. So I think we've got about 20 orders that are not yet delivered. So if you made an order this weekend and even make an order today, we'll give you the 2-for-1 special. But if somehow you missed and you've not received the order or a notification from THO, let me know and I'll let the guys deliver to you. There is also now a new pickup point in Johannesburg at the bus stop. So you can go over there at the bus stops in Zimbabwe. You can be able to pick up your mve over there. And that would be amazing. You'll be as strong as an ox. Autongwe nema salad. Tidimunu anotongwa nema salad. Yeah. This guy nakateza mve last week. Right. Andifuna nakati Gambakwe. Zvaitika zvotyisa. Madam chema. Saka, can I now find out? Tenga your own pack in Harare, in Bulawayo, Cape Town, Johannesburg, UK, Canada, Australia. Varku chema nemve. Right, thank you very much everyone for watching, and I'll see you again a little bit later. And a good day to you all.